Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into 3 ideas from one of the most influential texts in, well, ever, the teachings of Jesus. Now, we're not going to approach this from a religious angle. Instead, we're looking at it as a powerful ethical framework, one that has literally shaped civilizations for over 2,000 years. So let's get right into it.
So where do you even start with something this huge, right? I mean, how do you boil down an ideology that's been talked about and debated for 2 millennia to its absolute core? That's what we're going to do. And just to be clear, we're not looking at this as theology. We're looking at these as world-shaping concepts, ideas that have had this massive, lasting impact on pretty much all of us, whether we realize it or not.
And you know what's kind of wild? This entire massive ethical framework, it really just comes down to 3 foundational pillars. Yeah. Just 3. It's so simple on the surface, but man, these are some of the most challenging and maybe rewarding ideas you'll ever come across.
And here they are. Super simple. Love, forgiveness, and compassion. That's it. So for the next few minutes, this is going to be our roadmap. We're going to take a look at what each one really means and, more importantly, how they all connect and build on each other to create this complete way of thinking.
Okay, first up, love. And this isn't just the starting line. It's the absolute bedrock. Everything else we're about to talk about, it's all built right on top of this one single fundamental principle.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this definition. In this context, love isn't some fluffy, passive feeling you might have. Nope, it's a principle of action. It's a choice you make, a discipline you practice, a commitment to actively want the best for other people, no strings attached.
And this quote from Matthew, man, it just nails it. Love your neighbor as yourself. The simplicity is just, it's radical. That's what makes it so powerful. Think about it. In a world that's so often about us versus them, this idea of giving the exact same care to everyone that you give to yourself, that was totally revolutionary. It's not just a nice suggestion, it's a command to do something.
All right, let's move on to our second pillar and see how this all connects. This one is forgiveness. And you know, it's called a challenge for a very good reason. If love is the core principle, then forgiveness, well, that's one of its toughest but most essential applications.
So what's the point of forgiveness in this system? Well, it's basically a tool to stop a fight before it spirals out of control. You know that old saying, an eye for an eye? It kind of makes a certain primal sense, but it also just creates this never-ending cycle of getting even. Forgiveness is presented as the only thing strong enough to just stop that cycle of revenge in its tracks. And it's not about pretending something didn't happen, it's about choosing not to let that past event control the future.
And that brings us to our third and final pillar, compassion. So if love is the foundation and forgiveness is the tool you use for repairs, compassion is how you actually show it in the real world. This is where the ideas stop being abstract and become something you can actually see and feel.
You can think of it like this. Compassion is love in motion. It's taking that next step beyond just feeling bad for someone. It's about seeing that they're suffering, feeling that empathy, and then, and this is the key part, actually doing something to help. It's the difference between seeing your neighbors struggling with their groceries and just walking over to give them a hand. It's what connects that big abstract idea of love to the real world. Okay, so let's pull all this together for a second. This table gives us a really great snapshot. You've got the teaching, love, forgiveness, compassion. Then you have what it means, wanting the best for others, breaking those cycles of revenge, and taking active care. And finally, how you apply it. As a core principle, a tool for relationships, and basically, love and practice. You can really see how they flow one right into the next.
So that's the what of it all. But maybe the even bigger question is why? I mean, why have these specific ideas stuck around for so long? Why do they have this incredible staying power across different centuries, continents, and cultures?
Well, I think it really boils down to a few key things. First, they're just universally applicable, right? It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. These ideas connect with something deep inside us. Second is their profound simplicity. They're so easy to understand and remember, but you can honestly spend your whole life just trying to get them right. And finally, they're just laser-focused on the absolute core of what it means to be human, how we connect and treat one another.
And that brings us right to our final thought. We've talked about the massive historical impact of these ideas, but maybe their real power is on a much smaller scale, on the personal scale. So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. If you strip away all the history, all the debate, all the interpretation, how could taking just one of these 2,000-year-old ideas, love, forgiveness, or compassion, change just a single moment in your day today? Thanks for watching The Explainer.